There are trees in the world that germinated before humans emerged from prehistory. Top 10 oldest trees in the world. Number 10. General Sherman. While this list isn't exactly about giant trees, let's start with one. General Sherman is a giant sequoia that inhabits Sequoia National Park in the state of California. It's estimated to be 2,700 years old, which means it was already 400 years old when Alexander the Great conquered the Persian Empire. Besides being one of the oldest, it's the largest tree in the world in terms of volume, with a 52,000 cubic foot trunk. It's also one of the tallest, measuring 274.9 feet from the ground to the top, almost the size of the Statue of Liberty measured from the ground. Its base diameter is 36.5 feet, slightly larger than a standard bus. In 2006, one of its branches, which was 6.6 feet wide and 98 feet long, broke off. It fell on the perimeter fence, breaking it and causing craters in the nearby pavement. Number 9. 100-horse chestnut. The 100-horse chestnut is a chestnut tree located on the island of Sicily, Italy, and it's between 2,000 to 4,000 years old. Legend has it that a queen of Aragon and 100 knights took shelter in its trunk during a thunderstorm, hence the name. Judging by its appearance, it's entirely possible. What seems to be several trees stuck together is actually a single trunk that has been splitting, but its trunk is still joined underneath the ground. It holds the Guinness record for the tree with the world's largest circumference, 190 feet, measured in 1780. Interestingly enough, there's another tree with the same approximate age on another Mediterranean island. I'm talking about the olive tree of Vouves, located in the village of Ano Vouves on the Greek island of Crete. It's between 2,000 to 4,000 years old and still produces olives. If you're someone who doesn't hate olives but instead loves them, must be an honor to eat the fruits of a tree that, if the calculations are correct, could have met the legendary King Minos. Yes, the same one from the legend of the Minotaur. A similar honor was bestowed on the winners of the marathon in the 2004 Athens and 2008 Beijing Olympics, who received wreaths made from the branches of this ancient tree. Number 8. The President. The President tree is another renowned giant sequoia that inhabits California's Sequoia National Park. It's no less than 3,240 years old, which means it was contemporary to Pharaoh Ramses II. It's 247 feet tall, 20 feet taller than the front towers of Notre Dame Cathedral. Plus, its 45,000 cubic foot trunk makes it the third largest tree in the world by volume, 2 places behind its neighbor General Sherman. Fun fact, it has a burn scar on its trunk, a reminder of the forest fires that usually happen from time to time in the sequoia forests. It must have witnessed several of these events throughout its long life. Number 7. The Senator. This is the largest and oldest bald cypress in the world. It inhabits Big Tree Park in Florida, is about 3,500 years old, and was respected by the Seminole tribes. It was 165 feet tall, the height of an 18-story building. But in 1925, a hurricane destroyed its top, reducing its height to 118 feet. However, the worst thing happened in 2012 when a methamphetamine addict, who regularly visited at night, lit a fire to start overindulging herself. But everything got out of control and ended up setting a large part of the tree on fire. It's currently only 25 feet tall. That is a 3-story building. Anyhow, this isn't a top list of height, but age, and it's said to be still alive because there are new saplings of branches from the trunk. Definitely an immortal tree. 6. Gran Abuelo. In the Alerce Costero National Park, Chile, there's an alerce tree called the Gran Abuelo. It's over 187 feet tall with a diameter of 13 feet. It stayed out of the spotlight in a forest rarely visited by humans until researchers stumbled upon it in 1993 and determined its impressive age, 3,622 years old. Today, it's the greatest attraction of the national park, which welcomes hundreds of visitors willing to take pictures with this silent witness of history. The Mapuches call him Lonely Grandfather, and like Grandmother Willow from Pocahontas, they have a deep respect for it. Number 5. Sarve-e-Abarkuh. This is a Mediterranean cypress that lives in the city of Barca in central Iran. It's between 4,000 to 4,500 years old. meaning it was born at the same time as the pyramids of Egypt were being built. The longevity of this 82-foot-old man has led to it being declared a national monument of Iran. Plus, this tree was already an attraction in the region since the 14th century. Many legends have arisen around it. Some say it was planted by Japheth, one of Noah's sons, while another story says it was planted by Zoroaster himself, the founder of the ancient Persian religion, Zoroastrianism. Number 4. Llangernyw Yew. This is a yew that lives in a churchyard in the village of Llangernyw, Wales, UK. The tree is fragmented, and its core part is missing. However, its circumference remains intact, reaching over 35 feet. According to several studies, it's between 4,000 to 5,000 years old, and is part of the setting for the legend of the Angalastor, an ancient spirit that inhabits the church of Llangernyw, and that every Halloween foretells the names of the inhabitants who will die the following year. Number 3. Jomon Sugi. Sugi is a genus of trees also known as Japanese cedar. One of them, Jomon Sugi, has been studied by several specialists who have determined that its age ranges from 2,000 to 7,200 years. Quite a wide range, ain't it? It lives near the highest peak of Yakushima Island in Japan, and its discovery revitalized tourism in the region. Even more so after being declared a World Heritage Site in 1993. Visitors have to walk a long way, 4 to 5 hours from the nearest road to get to where the Honorable Jomon Sugi stands at 83 feet tall. Just like the olive tree of Uvez, it's considered a real prize to have a part of it, which is why in 2005, vandals tore off 4 inches of its bark. Number 2. Methuselah. Methuselah is a Great Basin bristlecone pine that inhabits the White Mountains in California. Its name refers to the biblical patriarch who lived to be 969 years old, an age that's nothing compared to this tree, which is 4,853 years old and still young. There are no pictures, and all the images you see in the media belong to other individuals of the same species. Most likely, like all Great Basin bristlecone pines, it has a crooked trunk, twisted on itself like a screw, with a surface covered with hardened resin that protects it from strong winds, fungi, and parasites. Scientists are wary because they want to avoid what happened to Prometheus, a 4,900-year-old tree that no longer exists, as it was cut down at the request of a University of North Carolina student who needed to obtain some data of the Little Ice Age from the trunk rings. They also say it's to prevent couples in love from carving hearts on its millenary bark or from being burned by an addict. Anyway, anything could happen. Bonus! This is a top of old trees, but can you believe there's an entire forest considered the oldest organism of all? This is Pando, a forest of quaking aspens, whose trees are considered a single living being because they share the same roots. It's estimated to be approximately 14,000 years old, meaning it could have easily housed mammoths, which became extinct 10,000 years ago. If you want to visit it, you must go to Fish Lake National Forest in Utah, United States. It measures 106 acres in total and is composed of 47,000 trees that are replaced from their root system as they die. Now it's time to meet the oldest tree in the world. Number 1. Old Teco. Old Teco is a European spruce located in Fullufallet National Park, Sweden. It's considered by many to be the world's oldest tree at 9,558 years old. However, others dispute the title and defend Methuselah as the winner. This is because they point out that it's a clonal tree, meaning it has been regenerating itself every 100 years because when the trunk fell, branches sprouted from it, and the tree rose again helped by the roots of the subsoil, which remained alive. It's something like what Pando does, only that while Pando uses its roots to sprout several trunks at a time to form a large forest, Old Teco stands as a single tree that has been regenerating itself over and over again for 9,000 years. Studies indicate that the trunk first sprouted 7,000 years ago, which is still a lot and enough to be at the top. If you want to visit it, just go to Sweden, as there's free access from June to September. These were the oldest trees in the world. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell, because we have a lot more content about plants and animals. See you in the next video.